Fantasizing about seeing the pyramids, the slopes of the Trois Vallées, or eating pad thai in Thailand. The long wait is over. You'll now be able to travel abroad, and tourists will be welcome back here in South Africa. The travel and tourism industries have welcomed government's decision to reopen the country's borders. Travel to and from some countries considered high risk will be restricted. Andrew Stark from the Flight Travel Centre Group joins us now. Very good morning to you, Andrew. Are you celebrating?
Couldn't be happier. We've waited 6 long months for this, Jane, and today we wake up, we have a date, we've got something to work towards, and I think South Africans are breathing a sigh of relief, to be honest.
Okay, what's going to happen now? How's it going to play out? How will it impact? How will it work? What airports can we go to? What happens about visas?
Yeah, and I suppose that's where our work really starts to kick in now. You know, all the protocols that we have to sort of unpack. I think there's going to be high levels of complexity, no doubt. Traveling as we knew it is a thing of the past. And I foresee that, we're going to have to learn to live with this virus for the next 2 to 3 years. So, complexity is a good example is, planning a holiday to Mauritius in April of next year. You have your family, you go and get your 72-hour COVID test done 72 hours prior, and one of your kids lands up getting sick. What do you do? So, we've been working on that as a team during a period where we've had next to no income in our business. So I think things like money-back guarantees, I think waivers and favors on cancellation policies, or leniency around supplier terms and conditions are really going to be very important when South Africans start to buy travel again. So I think that's something that I'll certainly start flagging from the outset, and that's something we continue to work on with our suppliers.
Yeah, I think that's important. I, for example, lost my ticket to London, didn't get any money back because I couldn't travel due to COVID. So you would hope to see a little more sympathetic sort of dealings when it comes to us and travel agencies, because obviously I should imagine one of your focuses is bringing people in. What do they have to do?
Yeah, absolutely. A focus a little more about taking South Africans out of South Africa on holiday as well as coming in. But we've seen that. I think more than ever, as Flight Centre Travel Group, you've got to be dealing with an expert these days. I think travel became very simplistic. It's now come back to a high level of complexity. And we saw that during the refund process of the last 6 months. We were inundated globally as Flight Centre Travel Group. We had over 1 million refunds that we processed. And happy to say from a South African perspective, we did a best job that we possibly can. But again, we are working with our suppliers as we speak to make sure that terms and conditions are lenient. And I think, I've maintained, we've got to throw the rule book out the window, and there's a new normal, seasonality and high seasons and those types of things may be a thing of the past for the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, from your job into the plane, apparently one of the worst areas or one of the most dangerous areas is the loo. How do you ensure that people are safe in planes? What is your message to them, and what are you hearing from the airlines?
Yeah, look, I think our airlines are doing everything in their power to make sure that, sanitization and hygiene protocols are in place. But like I maintain, we have to learn to live with this virus. So there's normal hygiene factors that we have to, continue to do on a daily basis. Washing your hands, mask, social distancing, etc. And I don't think an aeroplane toilet is any more dangerous than some other parts of life as we start to get back to the new norm in a COVID world. So I suppose every supplier that I speak to is making every process available to make sure that customers are safe, and that is certainly our main priority whilst we unpack travel again.
Okay, Andrew, I know that some of your offices closed. I'm just wondering if they're going to be opened now, if there's going to be enough revenue generated through them in order to do that and bring people back in. And then just quickly tell us about which countries are out of bounds now. Which countries do we not bother to go to?
Yeah, so from an office perspective, we actually opened up, I think, around the 20th of August. So as we went into level 3, and I know that, all our 56 offices around South Africa are open. Our corporate brands have been open during level 5. We've looked after corporate customers, with business essential services. But this is certainly welcome news. We should have a full staff complement back now across the country, across our leisure and corporate brands, which is exciting. With regards to destinations, I know TBCSA is unpacking that as we speak. Which countries are we going to be eligible to travel to, and vice versa. I think that's very important. I still maintain there will be travel bubbles that form. Ideally, is that between South Africa and Mauritius, South Africa, Zanzibar? We know our regional counterparts have just opened up their borders. So does that mean there's some sort of regional African travel bubbles that open up? But that's what we'll be working on, and I think South Africans can't wait to actually get outside and start traveling again. And we're going to make sure that we open the corridors that are in high demand over the next couple of weeks and months.
Excellent, great news, and best luck to getting back to full complement, Andrew. Thanks for talking to us.